I noticed the shoes before I heard anything else. 2 pairs, not mine, not hers, leather soles, expensive, pointed, placed carefully beside the bed in the master suite as if whoever owned them intended to return. My suitcase was still in my hand. I stood there longer than I should have, listening to the house breathe. The air smelled wrong, sweet, foreign, a memory that didn't belong to me. My phone vibrated, a message from my son. "Dad, please don't come upstairs." That was the moment everything tilted. I didn't move, I didn't ask why, I didn't respond. I simply stood in the doorway, staring at the shoes like evidence laid out for a jury that didn't know it was convened yet. From the bathroom, water shut off. A laugh. Male. Comfortable. I stepped back, quietly. I didn't slam doors, I didn't shout names, I didn't demand explanations. I took a picture. 2 angles, one close enough to catch the scuff on the heel. Then I left. By the time I reached the car, my hands had stopped shaking. Control returned first, emotion came later. I didn't confront her that night. I slept in a hotel, staring at the ceiling, replaying everything I had missed. The late meetings, the birthday plans she insisted I let her handle, the way my son had been quieter, older, carrying weight that wasn't his. The next morning, I returned like nothing happened. She kissed my cheek, too quick. Her eyes didn't linger. At breakfast, my son wouldn't meet my gaze. He stirred his cereal until it went soggy. "You okay?" I asked him. He nodded, too fast. That afternoon, I checked the credit card statements. A pattern emerged. Restaurants I'd never been to, gifts I hadn't received, hotel charges spaced exactly 2 weeks apart. I checked phone records, 1 number, repeated, deleted from her contacts but burned into the logs like a confession she didn't know she'd signed. At dinner, she talked about the birthday party. Just something small, she said. Friends, family. I smiled, paid for the venue, the caterer, the band. I watched my son that night as he washed dishes beside me. His shoulders were tight. "Dad," he said, barely audible. "Mom, she told me not to tell you." There it was, the first crack that bled. I didn't rush. Rushing makes noise. I hired a private lab, a quiet one. No names, no emails. Cash. DNA. Not because I doubted biology, but because lies tend to stack. If one thing was false, others would follow. I installed a mirror app on the home router, watched traffic, saw late-night video calls routed through VPNs she didn't understand well enough to hide. I watched her rehearse smiles in the bathroom mirror. I watched my son flinch when her phone buzzed. Externally, I was calm. Internally, I cataloged everything: dates, times, patterns. I learned the man's name, Marcus, senior partner at her firm. Married, 2 kids, reputation built on mentorship and integrity. I waited. The birthday party arrived dressed as celebration. She wore red. She took the microphone halfway through the night, glass raised. "I just want to thank someone special," she said, eyes sliding past me. Marcus stood. Applause. She handed me a box. Inside, a branded t-shirt, white, 1 word in black letters. Divorced. Laughter rippled, nervous, encouraged. She smiled like it was a joke. I smiled back, left the party. 5 minutes later, I returned, collected my gift receipt from the table. She didn't notice until later. The DNA results arrived the next morning. Positive. My son was mine. That hurt more than if he hadn't been, because it meant he'd been forced to lie for nothing. I invited her to sit. I placed the report between us. Didn't slide it, didn't push it, just let it exist. Her smile collapsed. She cried, quickly, loudly. "I was going to tell you," she said, a sentence I'd expected. I asked one question. "How long?" She hesitated. That was the real answer. I stood. "I know about Marcus," I said. "His wife, his kids, his firm's ethics committee." She went pale. I was already gone. The emails were precise, evidence attached, timelines, screenshots, sent to the board, the firm, his wife. I didn't threaten, I informed. By Friday, Marcus was fired. By Sunday, she was locked out of the house, her accounts frozen, her friends stopped calling. She showed up at the door once, hair undone, voice broken. "I never knew you," she said. "Cassandra," I closed the door before she finished. My phone logged 157 missed calls that night. I turned it off. I moved out quietly, left the house to my son. He deserved stability, not history. I took nothing sentimental, only what was mine. Months later, I heard she was couch surfing, jobless, untouchable. I felt nothing, not relief, not anger, just space where noise used to live. Betrayal doesn't end you, it reveals you, and I finally knew who I was when no one was watching. I didn't win, I walked away intact. That was enough. Returned home a day early, found strangers' shoes inside the master suite, held secrets. My son carried her lies. I plotted a cruel plan. Fired, homeless, and exposed. She begged for mercy. Late. I never knew you, Cassandra.